Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're in the world today. Welcome back to Cars Garage. Today I have a very special announcement to make. I'm going to take delivery of one of my dream cars, a 2007 BMW M6 V10 with SMG. Now, you're probably going to ask me, Carl, what's going on? You had the M5, which is F10. It got an M 4.4 liter twin power turbo that is much faster in a straight line compared to the V10 M6 and more comfortable and more technologically advanced than the M6. Why would you pick the M6? It's very simple because think about this. How many cars, production cars, that come with a V10 engine? And we're not talking about a twin turbo V10. We're talking about a naturally aspirated V10. I mean, come on, just by thinking about that, just make me rocky hard, And I personally had a 2008 Audi S8 before. The technically has a Lamborghini Gallardo V10 engine inside. But the problem about the S8 is it's so heavy, it packed with technology. It got the massage seats, it's got the high-end speaker systems, and the car feels so heavy I can't even drive aggressively to a point that I really like to Half Moon Bay. It can't even handle Half Moon Bay that well. It was struggling all the way at the corners, and and it has so many issues with that V10. You got the valve cover gasket can be very expensive to replace. We're talking about the random misfiring issues. The summer instead. Just too much to handle. But I know what you're gonna say. The SMG is not reliable as well, but you know what? You just need to find the right one. You need to find a clean one, find the one with a service record, and you should be good to go. Now, I just want to share some of my techniques when it comes to looking for cars like this. So, first of all cars come with so-called catastrophic problems. Okay, we're going to talk about that. For example, the BMW E65, the 7 Series, which runs the 4.8 liter, the early one was 4.4 V8, naturally aspirated, and it suffers the valve seal problems. That seal is like $30, but to fix it takes about 60, 70 hours of labor, and you can do the math. At dealership, they will charge you probably $10,000 just to fix it. For example, the D4 that I had before, that inline straight 6 engine, it's very reliable, but it also had this common problem like the PCV leak, right? The misfiring. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying here to say is there are not so many production cars you can buy today, especially around 20 to 30 grand, to have a naturally aspirated V10 with a sequential manual gearbox. I don't know about you, but that's just like give me a rocky hard right now. For example, let's think about that. The V10, alright, we have the Lexus RFA, which is supercar level expensive. And we have the Viper truck, the SRT10. I don't like truck, no offense. But we're also talking about the Viper itself. But that car only comes with a manual and is really overpriced at this point in today's market. We're also talking about the S8, the S6, and also occasionally, if you guys didn't know, I think the VW made a V10 diesel engine as well, which is never sold here in US. But then it comes to the BMW one and only M5 M6 that comes with the V10 engine. The V10 engine, if you know that it actually comes out from the F1 racing technology. Unfortunately, BMW exited the F1. They no longer race F1, but they did, make that engine technology all the way to massive production cars. Now, I thought about M5, but the M5 It's a little bit too low key. The M6, in other words, just catches your eye. And yeah, and I have been looking for my next car for a while. I had so many cars. What am I going to do? So today, you know what? I'm actually going to talk about that. How many cars I've owned, okay? Starting alphabet order. Audi, I have an Audi A6 3.2 Quattro. I have on 3 Mark II Audi TT 2.0. They were all non-Quattro version. I also owned an Audi Q7 3.6 liter Quattro. That's the base model Q7. And that's about it for Audi, I think. And for BMW, my first car was E36 323RS. It's a coupe. I also had a 528i F10 generation. I also had a 650i. I also had 4 E65 750Ri. I also had an E32 7 Series. I also had 2 Z4, one Z4 with automatic and one Z4 with SMG, which is really rare to find. I also had X1. I had the E70 X5. I had the M235i when it first came out. And I also had the E93 M3. Now it's going to add me this M6 V10 as well. I also had F10 M5. So yeah, I also had the X3 when it first came out. It was 2.5, shared the same engine as the Z4. And for the next one, I'm thinking about a Mercedes. I had the SLK 350. I had a 2006 Mercedes X600. The car is its last production year of W220 generation, so it has a bi-turbo V12. We also have the hardtop SLK 350 I just mentioned. I also had 2 S430. Yeah, I think that's about it for the Mercedes. Oh, but if you count the smart car, I had about like 12 different smart cars. There are automated transmission with 3-cylinder engines. I just wrap them in different colors. I drive it around town. Yeah, and I also had 4 different Camaros. They're all with RS packages. They're all V6. I had when it first came out, I had a Ford 2015 Mustang GT in triple yellow with Recaro racing seats from the factory. That's after I watched the movie Need for Speed. I immediately decided to purchase that car. It was like $50,000 or so. Then I also had a 2015 Mustang V6. I also had a 2017 Mustang GT50. Then I have like 4 C6 Corvettes. One was Z51. All other 3 were just regular base model. One with MPP exhaust and LS3, and all 3 were LS2. I also had, let's think about that. I also had a Cadillac SRX for a while. And I also had the Porsche Panorama. I had a 996 911. I had the Maserati 4200 GT Coupe. I also had a Maserati Ghibli SQ4. Let's see what else I got. Yeah, so I bought so many different cars, traded in so many different cars. I just lost count of it, I probably sell and buy cars more than the average dealership next door. So, but now, coming to an end, I really, really want to get this M6, as I mentioned before. And I'm actually going to take delivery of the car tomorrow. When you see a car like that clean, you have to pull the trigger. I know a lot of people worrying about, if I pull the trigger on the car, then I have to pay mortgage, then I have to, take care of this, take care of that. You know what? When you want to do something, you need to have the courage to do it. left is short. By the time you can pull the trigger, I don't know what's gonna happen. The car is gonna go away like a fairy tale. So when you find the car you want, go grab it. Now, a lot of people ask me, I have seen so many used cars, especially high-end cars like this. How do I make sure it's good? First of all, you need to do the homework, right? You need to know the power combination, the common problems. But most importantly, doesn't matter what car you're getting into. First of all, look at the headlights. If a car has a clear headlights, it has the clear bright, still in good condition. And I can tell you this, whoever kept the car's headlight clean after all those years, they take care of the car as well. If you have seen so many people driving with foggy headlight, they don't give a shit about the exterior. Maybe they do change oil, but trust me, that's not the kind of car you want to get in used car market. And when you look at especially car like this, right? You want to look at the exterior, the paint. I don't really care if you wrap the car, if you repaint the car, if the car got into some accident, That's acceptable as long as it has been repaired by a professional, mechanic or body shop. Now, of course, you need to check. What I do is I check the National Insurance Crime Bureau. You check their VIN number to make sure the car is not stolen or have any insurance fraud involved in it. And you check the Carfax. And after that, go ahead and schedule a test drive. Open the engine hood. Now, cars like this, if you want this generation BMW V8, naturally aspirated, doesn't matter if it's an M6 or 650i or 645 Ci, here's what you do. You drive the car for 20 minutes in heavy traffic or highway driving in general. Then what you want to do is to idle the car for 5 minutes and floor it. And floor it very hard. If there's smoke, white smoke, oily smoke, this blue smoke coming out from the tailpipe, my opinion to you is if you have extra $10,000 to fix the car, go get it. But if you don't, doesn't matter if it's M6 or M60, do not get it. The valve seal is mostly foul. They will fail in most of the non-M cars. What happened is the heat from the engine that melted basically shrink the valve seal to a point that it can no longer hold and seal the oil from entering the consumption chamber. And when that enters the consumption chamber, boom, you got the blue smoke. Especially happen after you're waiting for 10 minutes or so or at the traffic lights. But anyway, it is what it is. BMW issued care packages back in the days, and they offer free replacement of engines. There were also lawsuits, class action, but it's been a long time ago. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to pick up the car. Thanks for listening, talking about all those car stories. But yeah, this is going to be good. So yeah, stay tuned. I believe there will also be some episode featuring with Sal. So go ahead and follow Sal's Garage. There will be more content coming out on the M6. Stay tuned. Alright guys, sorry about the lighting situation here in the garage. It's not ideal, but we are on our way to the bank to pick up the check so we can finally pick up the BMW M6. I was also looking at a Maserati Quattroporte with a ZF 6-speed and a Sport GT trim for a while as well, but you know what, after careful consideration, I think it's really hard to find a V10 from a Formula 1 engine, and this is probably the only chances I have right now in this market to get the dream car I always wanted. So why not doing that? Maserati, you know what, there's always a chance to get it in the future. So yeah, I'll probably keep the Corvette for a while before I officially consign it. But yeah, so stay tuned, and we'll be on our way shortly, and hopefully everything will be okay. The car is in Fremont, so we'll have to drive it all the way back to Sunnyvale, but hopefully it's a good call. Alright guys, stay tuned. Alright guys, here we are at the dealership, and I just got the cashier check from my bank. A big chunk of it. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to do, but there we go. The M6 is actually right here on the rack. Beautiful car. Yeah. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. What's up guys? So here we are. Finally got the M6 delivered. So I'm gonna go over some quick overview of the car. But the car is very dirty right now. I'll probably wash it later, detail it, but for now it is what it is. So yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. Alright guys, here we are. So this is the 07 BMW M6. The fan is still running to cool the V10 down, and as you can see we have a blackout grille here, an M bumper, and I'm gonna zoom in. So that is actually a laser and radar detector integrated into the BMW car, so that it's actually integrated into the dashboard itself for upgraded protection. And of course you have the old school yellow angel rings. Does come with the xenon lights. And coming to the side, we have a 20-inch BMW rim, and I believe we have the Bridgestone at the front, but we have a very special tire. We have a Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. I've seen those tires on a lot of Porsche GT2 and GT3, but this is the first time I've seen Cup 2 tire on a BMW. And of course, you got the carbon roof here. This car is actually way similar to the E92 M3, although it's bigger and, you know, heavier, has a heavier engine. So, and of course, factory exhaust, very quiet. Probably going to do a muffler delete, and I just love the lights on those car. Looks really good. And of course, gonna pop up the hood. Gonna pop up the trunk in just a second. As you can see, I'm still learning how to operate this car. Probably gonna pop it up from the inside later, but yeah. So without further ado, let's get inside. Beautiful color. You have your M6 logo here, M6 factory floor mat, and of course you have a beautiful cabin. So this is actually wood trim, optional wood trim. You can have the different carbon fiber one, but this one comes with a wood trim. And let's start it up.
K40 scan active.
So as you can see, we have two lights here. Those are actually radar detectors, and it comes with this remote, so I can turn it on and off. Of course, we have paddle shifters here. We have air conditioning units, a CD drive, and additional DVD drive. And here we have heating seats, parking sensors, an ashtray, and of course we have the SMG here. Now this is a pretty old school SMG. You got the EDC control here. You have the DSC off, power button to change the shifting speed. Pretty much like a DCT, but it drives nothing like a DCT. It's very, the gap between each gear is just noticeable longer than the DCT. And of course you have this beautiful seats here, Alcantara interior, old school iDrive system. So To use this system, actually, for example, if you want to check the oil, you don't go to settings. Instead, you go to info source, services, and you check the oil level in that way. And of course, you can always go back, and it's very old school iDrive system. But since I had the E65 before, so this is pretty much the same thing. Yeah, so of course you can configure the M-Drive as well. You have you can change the power output P400, P500, P500 Sports. Does come with a head-up display as well. Yeah, very nice. So I'm gonna rev a little bit, but it's not going to be loud at all. Here we go. Yeah, well, definitely need a muffler delete. Don't want to upset the neighbor too much. And of course, here we are at the South Garage. More video coming for this car, of course, but let's go ahead and take a look at the engine hood. We're gonna turn it off, just cool it down a little bit, since the car is really hot. Yeah, let's take a look at the engine. Alright, so this is a massive V10 engine from Formula One. The fan is still running. The valve cover gasket looks pretty good. We have 2 air intake here. Oh my god, this this thing is crazy. I mean, this hood is stretched so long compared to the E92 V8. And of course, you got your pretty much similar engine. You got 2 additional airbox down there. This hood is actually pretty light as well. Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, with a muffler delete, this is going to be a monster. Oh yeah. Alright guys, so this will be the end of the video. I'm going to eat something real quick next door, and I'm going to go back and wash the car, detail it, get the muffler deleted, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, by the way, go follow South Garage on YouTube. There will be more videos coming. I got this car from Fremont, like 5 minutes away from South Garage. That's why you know, this is a perfect location for filming. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Peace out, and I'll see you guys next time. Great success!